The time has come, as it does for every single Minecraft world once in a lifetime, to leave it behind, to end it, to forget about everything here and move on to something brand new. But before we do that, I think it's time that I actually find the Elytra shop on this server, because I need a new Elytra, and what better way to end a season than by finally purchasing one. I found it. Let's go ahead and get ourselves one of these bad boys. There we go. I want to say goodbye to everything that we have done on this server, but I don't want to do it just by going and giving it a tour. I want to go out with a bang. I thought we would take a look backwards through everything we've built on the server, starting with the most recent and moving our way to the oldest. So let's get to it. The very last thing we built can be found over here just north of spawn, and that is the very last layer here on the Ignitor tower. Now, I built this with Chicken during the Unorthoblocks crossover. It was a fantastic time. I built all of the stuff right there with her without really looking anything up, and man, it took me quite a while to do. Also, placing the TNT here is proving to be quite the little conundrum, since a lot of these are chiseled bookshelves, but we'll do our best. This redstone was a ton of fun to put together, and it was a ton of fun to run as well. We do have to be a little bit careful. Oh, there we go. We got some TNT going off on accident there, but we'll just run through here. Ooh, got to be careful putting it next to active redstone in here. I think we should be pretty good on the TNT now, so why don't we go ahead and craft ourselves a flint and steel, set this off, and step back and watch the fireworks. I think I missed that TNT. Oh, I set it on fire. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh no, I'm not getting out. Okay, let's take a flight here and watch it burn. Oh man, this was such a fantastic time, and if you missed it, definitely go check out the episode where we put this together. Farewell, parkour library. Now, just a week before that, we actually put together this layer down here of the Ignitor tower, and this one I did with Rogue Torso during the exact same crossover. So let's just go ahead, kill all of these baddies here. we don't really want them, and there we go. And then we can just go ahead and spread our TNT all over here to say farewell to this beautiful cave-styled parkour game we built here. This one was super fun. I had a ton of fun putting it together. Again, I did it all at the time with Rogue Torso. No planning beforehand, which was absolutely crazy. Some complex redstone, well, really not very complex, but complex for the two of us who aren't necessarily redstone experts. It was a blast to put together, just like pretty much everything here. Oh, okay, the TNT is going. The TNT is going. All right, there we go. We'll just trail this on up behind us. This part here was Rogue's idea, and I think it was a very fantastic little puzzle here where you had to crawl through underneath the iron bars. If you're not being really careful, then you're going to end up standing up and you'll have to go back to the beginning and start it over. Ooh, okay, well, we missed that explosion, but it was time to say farewell anyway. Hopefully I can get back up there and actually get that stuff. It might have blown up completely. All right, hopefully 5 durability can get us all the way up there. Let's see. Here it is. Okay, so we made it. And we still have 4 durability left. Oh, but it looks like all of our stuff did in fact blow up. So, it's all gone. I guess we're buying more gunpowder. We'll put on some of our backup armor here. Grab our fireworks. There we go. This is the last of my sand. And another one of these. Now, the last thing that we built before those was over in the gaming district, one of my favorite areas on the server, because it's where we get to all have fun together as server members. Bouncing boats. This game was such a pain to put together because I had the perfect design for ice hockey, which is what this was made out of. But unfortunately for me, that didn't quite work out how I would have hoped. So we had to tear it apart and turn it into something new for the crossover so that we would actually have a new game to play with all of the Unorthodox members when they came over. As much as it was a pain, it was also an absolute blast, and I don't regret any of it. Let's light this up and get a good look. All right, that didn't work quite as I had hoped. All right, let's try again here and run away. There we go. That's what I get for trying to be sparse with my TNT now that I am out of sand. Big booms, big booms. Of course, just before we made bouncing boats, we made the self-regenerating Spleef Arena, and this one I had a ton of fun spending time designing in creative mode. It's an old game, but it was quite a bit of fun to actually make and figure out how to turn it into a self-regenerating thing. I know people have done it before, but I didn't do any research into it because I wanted to see if I could do it myself. I always love testing my redstone skills in ways like that to figure out how much I can actually do without looking things up, without doing research. It's just part of the fun for me, and I was so ecstatic that I was able to get this working. I went through a lot of different designs. Oops, there we go. Put it on some redstone. I went through a lot of different design attempts with this. Let's not fall in the lava. Oh, where I tried almost died there. Where I tried using mushroom blocks and moss and all sorts of different things to do the self-regenerating thing, and just ended up finding out that stone just worked the best for us. Since we are still pretty low on the TNT here, I think we'll call that good and set it off. Unfortunately, we can't get a good look because I need to run away so I don't blow up. There we go. We're going around. Hopefully we set off the majority of it here. And we're setting that lava loose. I really tried hard to make sure that lava was covered up during the design process of all of the outside and everything so that we didn't have to worry about anybody accidentally falling in the lava and breaking the picks that were provided and stuff like that. We'll just run around the outside here and try to set off the majority of the rest that is left manually, just to make sure that this is good and wrecked and unusable for anybody that ever wants to try to use it. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Man, this TNT does not reach quite as far as you might think that it would. There it goes. Honestly, that really doesn't look very destroyed, and I'm kind of disappointed in that. But let's take a look underneath as well, because we did set off some down here. Yeah, I don't think that all of the redstone's going to be working too well, so we've got that on our side. Dying with all of the TNT that I made was not part of the plan. The last game that we built here on the minigame district was this Halloween PvP arena. And man, was this a blast to make. It was so fun coming up with all of the different ideas. It's the biggest build that I have ever made in Minecraft, and I think that it turned out looking pretty darn good, if I do say so myself, though I am a little biased. Okay, we might die. Okay. That skull sensor really got me there. Oh, and as you can see, the whole floor is hollow so that I had room to run all of my redstone down there, which was very important. There was all sorts of different things that went into making this, with the pumpkin crusher, the armor equippers, and the center dispenser. It was just an absolute blast with so many cool things going on. There we go, setting off that row of TNT as well. Might as well set off some more here and just make it go boom. Except we don't want it to go boom on us. Okay, there we go again. This flying course was designed with a way up, but not a way down. We probably ought to get a couple of these. We'll pay a little extra. Luckily, everything didn't blow up this time. And with this, I think we should render this completely unplayable, if not completely destroyed because of our lack of TNT. As you can see, it's a pretty big arena here, and it would take a lot of TNT to completely blow it to bits. I will say though that I had a lot more faith in the destructive power and distance of TNT, so it's kind of sad to see that my chains aren't working so well. Oh look, all of the player heads from the crossover fight. Alright, we'll leave one piece of TNT there. If I recall, this thing took me about 10 hours just to build in on the server. Not to mention all of the time that I spent putting it together and designing all of the game and everything in creative mode and thinking about it and all of that. Not to mention, this was the start of the gaming district. This was the very first game built over here on this Mushroom Island, and everything else expanded from here. If I remember correctly, these two shops of ours, the Alley Shop and the Wither Skeleton Shop, came directly before that PvP arena there. So we'll go ahead and work on these next with our last little bit of remaining TNT, and then I think we're actually gonna have to go ahead and find some TNT somewhere, some sand or something. Also, let's go ahead and check our profits while we're here. Looks like we made a couple more diamonds here, so might as well pick those up. And some diamonds from some coal as well. Bone blocks, and just one from the bone blocks. I built this Wither Skeleton shop in collaboration with Captain Ronnie. We built the Wither Skeleton farm together, which was a ton of fun. It was my first time ever building one, and I can say that it was a fantastic experience. Very scary, as it was one of the first things that I actually ever did on the server, and it took us quite a while to actually get to the point of putting things together and actually having a shop to do everything with. And Captain Ronnie was fantastic. He took care of always making sure that this stayed stocked, while I did pretty much nothing other than designing the shop to begin with. And because both Ronnie and I were carrots, I decided to shove a carrot sword in the head of this Wither Skeleton, which I thought added quite a nice touch and bit of personal design to it. There it goes. Oh yes, now that's a much more satisfying explosion than what we had going on there. Much more of that is destroyed than the previous few explosions. Now we get to move on to the Alley Shop. Now I wanted to make this a alley vending machine and just wasn't able to make the design work, unfortunately, despite countless hours in creative mode trying to figure out some way to do that. Despite all that, I think it ended up looking pretty good, and it was actually my very first time using Litmatica at the time, so I remember I just had the whole schematic pulled up, and I didn't realize that you could go layer by layer and have it show you only one layer at a time. So I was trying to build the whole thing using Litmatica. I didn't know easy place mode was a thing, and it just was an absolute disaster. I was looking at the schematic and placing the blocks here and there and everything, but it just was so hard to tell when the schematic itself was light blue and I had all these different light blue colors. It was really hard to tell what blocks went where, and then I was trying to place blocks, but I couldn't tell if there was actually blocks placed there or not. So it was somewhat of a disaster, to be entirely honest, but it was a lot of fun. It was a learning experience. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, yep, okay. Oh, and the ice turns to some water there, which might have prevented some of the destruction there, I don't know. But yeah, it was a nightmare in Litmatica and quite a learning experience. Well, I think we cleared some space for some other igniters to build some shops. I can't just leave this TNT since I'm so close to out. Snag this one, and this one. Okay, I found sand for sale. TNT replenished. Now for Moto and Kroto's little tiny hobbit hole that never got completed. Yeah, I'm really bad at finishing projects, but I did have a lot of fun with this. I got a lot of advice from the viewers and live streams on how I should make it look and all of that type of thing, which was just absolutely fantastic since I am really not a very good builder to begin with, but I think it was going to look quite pretty, quite nice. I really do like the entrance and I like the outside here. It looks absolutely fantastic. And I did have quite the blast building this little hobbit hole, but now it's time for it to go. So let's just go ahead and take it out. And this is probably going to make quite a bit of water leak around our base, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. So there we go. And we'll go ahead and touch that one just in case it didn't actually reach all the way over here. And there we go. The hobbit hole is taken care of. Now, I'll be honest with you, the next area I should probably be going to is the Wither Skeleton Farm, but since Ronnie always took care of filling up the shop and everything, I have no clue where it is. So instead, we'll go ahead and work on our storage system. This again was built on live stream and suggestions for how to design it and what to make it look like were provided by people on the live stream, which was absolutely fantastic. I had such a great time with the community for the Ignitor SMP, telling me what things I should do, how to make things look good, and all of that sort of thing. It really is such a wonderful thing to have all of you guys here with me and telling me what I need to do and helping me improve as a Minecraft player, as a builder, and all of that type of thing. So yeah, here is to the storage room. Let's go ahead and set this off and take a step back. There it goes. Everything we own gone. Except, honestly, probably the majority of things that we own are in this cluster of chests right here, so it seems like we're kind of okay. Now, probably one of my favorite areas that I made on the server is this little tiny room here. This is our golden star cookie area. We've got the recipe right here and our cocoa bean machine and wheat machine to help us make all of our star cookies that we gave to the server. That was an absolutely fantastic time. I love designing this little area, and I loved that video. It's probably one of my favorites just because of how cute and fun it was. But let's go ahead and set this off and say goodbye to the star cookies. Oh, there we go. Bye-bye, star cookies. Love you. Next up, of course, we have all of these little farms that we built here. This was a blast. I love this little room. It was supposed to look kind of like an industrial room, which I think will be really easy to make something that looks very industrial now with the new copper blocks and tough block set and everything. I think those look very industrial, especially with the copper grates. But this was supposed to look somewhat industrial. This was supposed to be turned into an automatic villager farm in the center there. But honestly, on the server, I never really needed it because anything that I needed food-wise or anything like that was generally provided by like Ironite. He gave out free carrots for other carrot supporters and everything. So that was fantastic. I never really needed anything much on the server, but I did enjoy making these farms. They were very fun. Oh, there we go. Popped a totem. Let's hold this in our hand just in case. Yeah, that looks like a mess. All right, everybody. Now on to the final room here. This took quite a while to build, and it was my first time ever really using sponges to clear out water, and they did not work quite how I thought they did, and that made it take quite a bit longer than I actually anticipated it would take. So this was quite the endeavor to be down here clearing out all of this water and building this ice dome. Not ice dome, glass dome, the nature dome as I called it. It was supposed to end up getting filled with animals, but I never did get around to that, unfortunately. But I think it still looks very pretty and very nice, and I am very proud of my nature dome. I did have a lot more plans for this. Like, this door was never supposed to be just like this. This was supposed to be a automatic like piston door that lets you in and was really cool. There was supposed to be bridges that went across the top, but of course that never really happened either. Unfortunately, lots of things never really happened on this server because I just didn't have the time to get around to them. But one of my favorite things was just being able to spend time with all of the wonderful Igniters. They're all such fantastic creators, and I wouldn't trade this server for the world. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed the Ignitor SMP series. I hope you enjoyed everything that I did, everything that all of the other Igniters did. I really hope that it made a change in your lives as it did in mine. This was one of my constant dreams, was to be a member of a server that supports one another and creates content together and just has a ton of fun. So without further ado, let's go ahead and blow up some nature dome. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna like get TNT to fall down in there and blow. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Ooh, the nature dome is gone. Oh, we'll blow up this side and blow up this side. There we go. Is it gonna chain? Okay, chaining a little bit, but not quite all the way. Oh, what a pain this was to build. Man, these alleys were always trying to get out of here. They were such a pain to keep in. My entire Ignitor SMP Season 2 playlist is on screen right now. Please do go ahead and check out the entire thing because there really was some wonderful things. Also, there will be a world download available, and all of these explosions were done on a world backup. So you don't have to worry about all of my stuff being gone. It will still be there. You can play the PvP arena and everything.